Alright guys, a little video coming in today. It's going to be a review video for a product. So basically this company, Primelux, they reached out to me and then they ended up sending me two different colors of LED strobe lights. So these are basically like what you could mount on the back rack of your truck. Disclaimer, these strobes are not amber. So these are green and a red one. This is for testing. It's to see with the light, the brightness, the durability, the waterproofness. If you are going to put these in a vehicle, if it's for work, it has to be amber. Unless you're fire or police, then you could use the red or the blue or whatever. Long story short, this is basically just for testing and reviewing. We got 2 packs here. We'll open it up. So first off, it comes up with a little features and instructions. So you can see right here. So this does have the yellow wire, which is used for changing and syncing between lights. So there's 17 different patterns, it says, of different blinking patterns. They're supposed to be waterproof, dustproof, 50,000 hours of life. It has last pattern memory recall. So if you have them on your truck and you set them at the certain pattern you like, and then you shut them off and you turn them back on, they'll turn back on to the same pattern, which is an awesome feature. So with the yellow wire, because you have your positive, your negative, and then you have your yellow, which you can, you like touch them together, and then that's what changes the sequence. Then here's the lights. Packaged pretty well. I'm actually kind of impressed. Nice packaging. Comes with a little pad, so you could, if you're going to mount it to like the side of your truck and you don't want to mess up your paint job, this will go in between the back of it, so that's a nice feature. It comes with screws, which I just dropped on the floor. And then here's your light. First looking up, this is pretty nice. This is like billet aluminum or something. This isn't just plastic, so that's good. It looks like it's got heat shrink, waterproof shield. The LEDs look pretty solid, but the housing of this is actually pretty impressive. So basically, first what I want to do is I want to get these hooked up. I got a Milwaukee battery that you can just connect these to. That's how I test all my lights and stuff. I got an extra wiring harness. Might use this to hook them up with. Got these hooked up now, so now it's time to plug it into our battery. And there you go. You have a solid green. That's how it starts, obviously. So that's one of the 17 sequences, is it could just be solid too. So now what you got to do is take your yellow wire and your ground wire and you touch them. And if you just touch them, that's what changes your sequence. So touch it once. So that's one. Here's another. So I'm actually pretty impressed with these. I mean, that's a lot of sequences. So you have a lot of options to choose from, which is pretty nice depending on what you're doing. Now let's check out these red. I think these are red and white, if I remember correctly. But let's take a look at these and see how these are. 4 come in a pack, which is a good amount to have. So you could put like 2 on the front or 2 in the rear of your vehicle if you need it. If not, you could put all 4 on the rear if that's all you're doing. What I find with these is probably the most important part of any LED light is the waterproofing. So now we're going to wire up these red ones. All right, we got them set both to solid. Now these are pretty bright, like definitely will do a lot at night. So pretty pumped with how bright they are. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut the lights off and we're going to see how bright they are. So these are really bright, I'm not going to lie. As you can see here, I got a plastic tub of water, and now we're going to check out the waterproofness of these. So we're just going to dunk these right in and see what happens. Yeah, it's still going. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, that's full submersion right there. And they're still going. Alright guys, now I do want to test the durability pretty quickly, so I got a handful of tools right here. We're going to go ham on this thing. First, I want to test the scratch resistance. So I have a wood awl here that I'm going to, or a wood rasp, my bad, that I'm going to scratch the front up with. I'm just going to do one side of it. And wow, look at that. It actually held up really well because it's not completely flat on the surface, so it only scratches this outside edge. And it's not even that bad for what how freaking coarse this is. I mean, look at this thing. It's like shark teeth. Yeah, not bad. Definitely see this is metal, which is nice, and that holds up. So now I'm going to try snipping the metal. See how strong this is. Can't do it. See, just put a little divot in it. That's about it. All right, so let's give this thing a freaking smack with the old sledgehammer. Oh my god, that did literally nothing. Didn't crack the clear plastic. Oh, there it goes. Oh no, I unplugged it. False alarm. It still works. Yeah, I just hit it pretty decently hard with that. And it... Okay. What the... How is this still working? Well, I just hit it and it went solid, so... I don't know if that's because I actually... Well, I must have broke whatever makes it strobe, because it's not strobing, but it's still on. And I just hit this like, what, 4 or 5 times? Pretty decently hard. Now we say goodbye. And it's killed. What actually happened was this glass on the front and the case are not broken. It's a little bent, but this housing held up very well. The reason why it stopped working is because the wires sheared on the back side of it. The wires got cut, basically, because of this thing getting pushed against the table when I hit it. There are a few of the LEDs are rolling around in there, too, but the housing is, for the most part, intact. It's not broken. The plastic is not crushed. It lets a lot of light through, and it's still pretty damn solid. Like, it's a pretty solid plastic cover, and it doesn't restrict the light. So that's a plus right there. So I say we just hit this thing until it becomes pudding. Get over here. Are you serious? This still isn't broken. This still hasn't detached, and it's not much more bent than it used to be. I can kind of get my finger in here to pry it open. Here we go. All right, so that's open. You can see all the LEDs in here, but it looks pretty quality to me. Pretty impressed. I just hit this a freaking ton of times, and it finally gave away. So you might total your vehicle, but you can still use your lights. All right, guys, well, this concludes my review. Pretty impressed with these. Definitely check out Primelux. They're on Amazon. They also have a website. Look for the links in my description. Definitely get yourself a set of these. They do make in amber. They also have LED beacons that are magnetic for the top of your roof. And like I said, they have like LED cubes and stuff like that. So check them out. They're honestly like pretty high, very, very high quality for not breaking the bank either. They're definitely a good option if you need to wire up and you want to DIY wire up these to your vehicle. Stay tuned for a future video. When I get ambers, I'm going to be doing a DIY wiring video of them on my back rack of my personal truck that I use for work all the time. So stay tuned for more videos like these. I hope this helped you out and this showed you a good product that could be a great option for you.